Ladies and gentlemen, what if the real world was a video game? Well, there is a channel all about that on YouTube. A channel called patterrz. And we're gonna have a look at patterrz's most popular video. The video, of course, is the Are Humans Overpowered video. If the real world was a video game, how would it be structured? How would it be programmed? Would humans be the overpowered class to use? Let's find out whether or not humans are overpowered. And of course, I'll leave patterrz's link in the description, which you should go ahead and check out. Also, Skillshare, apparently.
Sponsored by Skillshare.
Okay, Skillshare. I do love patterrz's video. I don't think I've seen this one, though.
Human beings. Are they as overpowered as the game's community would lead you to believe?
Yes,
Short answer,
absolutely.
Yeah. They're the most meta-defining
Omega
build of
S
all
tier.
time, and the undisputed top build in the current expansion. But believe it or not, this wasn't always the case. Humans used to get bodied left and right on a daily basis by other players. And it took a pretty long time
It was the equipment, man. It was the equipment. We got better because of the equipment.
before the player base learned how to actually make use of the human build's unique abilities. The story of the humans' rise to dominance is a really interesting one. And so today, we're going to do an in-depth look at the humans' abilities, their strengths, and their weaknesses. Because yes, they do have weaknesses. We'll also go over notable matchups, and finally look at the steps human players took in order to reach their dominant status.
Yo, human
First,
early
their
game is
unique
so
abilities.
dog
I touched
war.
on this topic in my video about primates.
Seriously, when you're a baby, the early game as human, oh my god, it's so bad. Like, it only gets good later on. It's like it's like Assassin's Creed 3. Sucks at the beginning, lasts forever, and then gets good later
I'll
on.
recap here and also go into more detail. First off the bat, we have their ability to throw things. Other builds
yeah,
can
look at
throw
that.
things, but humans can do so harder, faster, and further than anyone else.
Yeah, we can.
The reason for this is their
We can throw things so far. We can throw balls. We can throw bricks at windows when we're angry at people cheating on us. We can throw video games really hard. I'm very good at that third one.
body structure. Bipedal builds are tough to balance, both in the game development sense and the center of mass sense. Throwing an item with any real force behind it requires serious balance, achieved only by having shorter arms and longer legs. This is why humans can launch projectiles
I mean, you say it requires serious balance, but like I trip over when I tie my shoes, so.
at deadly speeds, whereas
There is
other
that.
primates kind of just lob things without putting much effort into it. If they tried to, they would knock themselves over. Even if chimpanzees could
Very
figure out how to
good
craft a
diagram.
spear, there's no
Right
way they
there.
can throw it hard enough to deal any significant damage. Next, their stamina regeneration. Humans can chase down anything. You try to run from a human, you might outspeed them initially, but you'll run out of stamina much sooner than they will, and they'll catch up to you while you're in your weakened state.
Aw, he looks
This
so
is partially
tired.
because of their superior balance again, but mostly it's because of the human build's unique choice to not spec into fur. This gives them access to the extremely broken ability
We didn't spec into fur, unless you're like one of those people that are just born really hairy. I'm like the opposite. I was born incredibly unhairy. I have this hair on my head, and that's like, I don't have any chest hair, man. I'm sorry, I just gotta say, I don't have any chest hair. I can't even grow facial hair.
sweat. Every other current build that's decent at distance running recharges stamina by using the move Pan.
Dude, sweat is OP.
This works great, but it does require the user to stop running. Sweat, on the other hand, works better while moving, massively extending the distance a human player can run. They've got a few other important abilities that are essential to their kit, but aren't unique to humans. Their ability to speak is unique among mammals, but some birds can pull it off too.
We have this incredible ability to speak and create languages has been integral to human society, and now I use it to make dumb jokes online on the internet for people to laugh at. Hopefully, please tell me please tell me I'm funny. Please, that's the only thing I have, dude.
In humans,
The only thing I have.
ability to speak allows them to use one of their signature moves, Teach, which drastically boosts skill point gain,
Teach?
mitigating the main penalty a player receives upon getting a game over. Humans and birds also share another unique trait, which is being able to stand
Game
upright.
over.
Standing
Lumpy
upright
W.
is extremely useful for dealing with stealth builds that might normally be using tall grass to hide. Tool use
Imagine starting an RPG and it's like, yes, one of your main abilities is that your character could stand up immediately you return it.
also might be thought of as a human-exclusive move, and it certainly is the most effective in humans. But it
Making.
turns out a pretty wide array of other builds can also do
Oh,
it.
he's so smart.
Birds,
Look at him go.
primates, cephalopods, and even fish can use tools on occasion.
The hell's
But
a
sweating and
cephalopod?
throwing, uniquely human. Now onto their weaknesses. And yes, it's true that currently most human
We have a
players can
ton.
subvert these with their crafting skill. But it's important to recognize that without equipment, the human build isn't necessarily unstoppable. The decision to not have fur granted humans a massive buff to mobility at the cost of stealth. In the mammal faction,
Wait,
fur is a prerequisite to all the major stealth abilities like camouflage, and lack of stealth abilities means getting in close on their targets is a serious challenge.
Oh my god! No way you just snuck up on a tiger like that! No way!
The human build's lack of fur also means they have very low defense, both from physical
Jesus
attacks
Christ.
and from environmental effects. Bear skin offers almost zero armor.
This freaks me out as well. People that wear bees like that, I'm pretty sure the actor from Breaking Bad did that once in an episode of Malcolm in the Middle. What's his name? The guy did it. There's an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where Bryan Cranston like sits and just like is surrounded by bees. Bees.
The point where even players from lower weight classes have no trouble dealing damage to humans. And bear skin also takes quite a bit of damage from the sun too.
Ooh, that's a bad.
Humans are also pretty limited when it comes to the power
burn.
stat. Physically, they're the weakest of the great apes, and don't really have any good options for dealing damage. They lack the classic high damage bite attack that nearly every other non-herbivorous build relies on, instead having to resort to blunt attacks like punch and kick, which we all know
The dude is
herbivorous build
boxing
relies
a bear.
on. Instead having to
Where do
resort to
people
blunt
find these
attacks like
videos,
punch and
bro?
kick, which we all know aren't very effective against builds that have thick fur or skin. The last major weakness I can see is that they're pretty bad at dealing with stealth. The lack of night vision means darkness can really hamper their
Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, it's there as well. Oh my god, that's a scare. Yo, imagine going camping, you wake up at 3 in the morning and see this. Oh my god, that's so, I hate this so
ability
much,
to
dude.
locate targets. And their lack of a strong sense of smell means camouflage is especially useful against them.
It's crazy
Okay,
that they
now
got
let's
that
talk about
footage of the
matchups.
dinosaurs
Obviously,
like
a
that.
key feature of the human build is being able to craft equipment. Given basic equipment like low-level armor and hunting gear, the human's best matchup is going to be medium-large mammals.
Why do we have the
Unlike blunt
RuneScape
damage,
UI here? What's
piercing
that?
damage is quite effective versus builds with thick hide. But on defense, they're actually pretty awful. A human's only option on defense against a large mammal is intimidation, unless they've got some crazy high-level equipment. But I'll make a video on power creep later.
Dude, I can't believe it. Can
Unless
you
they've got
believe
some
that real life is pay to win? I'm disgusted. I'm gonna file a complaint with God or whoever made the universe, maybe just evolution, because that's ridiculous. Pay to win game. So bad. I hate this gotcha. Real life is just a gotcha.
crazy high-level equipment, but I'll make a
Insane.
video on power creep later. The classic human equipment cannot stop a charging tank main unless the intimidate attempt works.
Oh my
But
god, that's
overall,
scary.
this matchup is one of the reasons humans became top tier. Hardly any builds have favorable matchups against tanks. But that's not to say humans don't have their counters though. As I said before, stealth can be really
don't
effective
like
against
that.
them due to their lack of a keen sense of smell
Oh
and night
my
vision.
God.
Humans have the ability to win pretty much any fight as long as they've got time to prepare. But taken by surprise, humans have a lot fewer options. Another thing humans have trouble dealing with is flight. Even when a human has a ranged weapon, players with high aerial mobility are pretty safe during flight. Now, as far
That's why we made helicopters and fighter jets. Yeah, what's a seagull gonna do against a fighter jet, brother?
as I know, there aren't any bird builds powerful enough to one-shot humans, which is important because blunt attacks like punches are actually quite effective against birds.
I don't know. I mean, a bald eagle, like, if the claws got, like, right in your eyes, I mean, that could probably one-shot you.
Birds have hollow bones that are resistant to tension and torsion, but not compression. This is the opposite of mammal bones, which are resistant to compression and tension, but not torsion.
Imagine having hollow bones, dude. Like, come on, man. Just fill up your bones with stuff, dude. What an idiot.
The point is, birds aren't the best choice against humans, but flight has been unlocked by 4 different classes in the game. Birds, which we just discussed, aren't a good choice. Bats, which do even less damage than birds.
This video has not aged very well. I would actually like to put it forward that bats are very good against humans. In fact, they might be the hard counter to humans.
Reptiles, which unfortunately had their aerial builds banned in patch 1.3.1. And insects. Flying eusocial insects have by far the best matchup versus humans in the entire game. Humans have 0 counterplay against a swarm of stinging insects. I mean, sure, there are special items that they can use to combat swarms if they're prepared, but the amount of human mains who've
Special
chosen
items,
that
like
as one
whatever
of their
this is.
prestige abilities is pretty small. Humans' lack of fur means they have no innate defense against stings. Stings also have the chance to proc the anaphylaxis debuff, which can actually lead to a game over.
That can kill you? Oh yeah, if you're allergic to bee stings, that can kill you. But additionally, we also did watch a video once about a girl that stings herself purposefully with bees 50 times a day. So realistically, it's not guaranteed to be that good.
And it's for this
Some
reason
people
that the
even
high
like it.
score for human eliminations belongs to the
Other mammals kill 52 people a
Africanized
year.
honeybee, known better by its community-given
Bees kill 58 people a year? Yeah. And in response, we're destroying their habitat and absolutely annihilating the bee species as a whole. There's such a thing as a proportional response, and this is not
named
it.
the killer bee. And even if the stings don't proc the allergic reaction effect, they will still definitely achieve their primary goal of dropping their resolve to 0 and granting you control over the territory. And we can see that lately the viability of killer bees has only been growing now that they've expanded their territory outside of Africa.
They're coming from the south, brother. I always knew we'd go to war eventually. I just thought it would be against the commie liberals, not the killer bees.
Which brings me to my main point. Are humans overpowered? Well, just like the Africanized honeybee, humans really only became OP once they escaped the African server and invaded other areas. Notice how
invaded other areas. Yeah, that's all we do, dude.
humans took down megafauna across every terrestrial server except Africa. The African tank mains have the matchup experience and counterplay options to deal with the vast array of skills humans have access to. But the rest of the community was totally unprepared to deal with the rapid invasion of new human mains invading their competitive scene. In other words, the devs could have prevented the massive destabilization of the current meta if they'd region locked humans. Staying competitive in the meta requires
if they'd region locked humans. Imagine we try to get like to the edge of Africa to like go further, and there's like an invisible wall there.
a good player constantly be leveling up their skills. There's no better example of this than the rapid rise to dominance that humans experienced.
That channel was sick though, man. This primitive technology channel.
There's no better example of this than the rapid rise.
This channel is like actually sick. But I don't know if he still posts, but that was this was a really, really, really cool channel. I really like that. But anyway, yeah. Humans are overpowered. They're super overpowered. They need to be nerfed. Also, the pay-to-win nature of this video game is absolutely ridiculous.
The dominance that humans experienced.
Absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you think humans are overpowered, then what I need you to do is hit that like button on the video, subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already, and check out TierZoo, because TierZoo has a bunch of videos like this, a whole channel dedicated to it that I'm sure that you'll love. The links will be in the description. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for about 10 minutes or so. I hope that you had a good day. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.